I'm Ronnie Ford with Ronnie Ford Horsemanship, and what we have here is a 10-year-old horse that's been living in a rescue for the last 5 years. What they tell me is that when they got him, he was basically just a wild horse. They rescued him, according to the story. Somebody hit him in the head with a 2x4. This horse is extremely uncertain. But while he does some things, you can tell that he's always on guard and always ready for something else. He's basically just not comfortable in his own skin. What we're going to try and do with this horse is get him to a point to where he can feel safe, to where he can feel comfortable. This horse gives me the opportunity to teach some things that I talk about a lot of times in my training. And, you know, as we go along, I'm going to try and point out some of the things about learning how to be specific with your horse, about teaching the horse to take forward steps, and about teaching the horse to come to you, present itself to you, instead of the horse teaching you to go to him. Especially when you watch this horse, once you do make contact with him, he'll drop his head and lower it, but he's not really what you would call comfortable with it. And I would say that this horse's head's been chased so much that just about every time you do reach out to him, well, then his head goes in the opposite direction. So anyway, I'm going to step out here and start working this horse a little bit. One of the things that you hear me talk about is that the horse will always respond to the strongest motivator. You know, what I expect him to do, since this camera's set up just outside of the round pen, is as he comes around, he will be away from this camera just a little bit. But what we're going to do is we go along with this horse. At times I bring different people out here, and you know, and I will teach this horse to look for them. And they'll help me get this horse to the point to where he feels comfortable around people. So I'm going to step out here and start asking this horse to do a few things. One of the things you want to watch for with this horse is when his head goes to the outside, just like right then. Good. What I'm really looking for this horse to do is start shuffling his rib cage, bringing his head back inside to me, get that head inside to the round. Yeah, he's got an ear on me, but that head's going in the opposite direction. Sooner or later, what this horse will do is, if I stop, there will be a really good possibility that he'll turn away from me instead of turning into me. Good. Right there was a fairly nice change. But at each time, right there, he come back a little quicker with me. Now, we're going to get that head back inside a little bit, except for just over here. Now, remember what I said just a minute ago, that if his head was going away from me, that would be the direction that he was going to turn him. What you saw just then, this horse turn in that direction. Now I'm going to step back and over. Good. Good. And if you watch this horse, good. Good. Now, you watch this horse, his head's going somewhere else. When his head goes somewhere else, that's your opportunity to step in a different direction and start working on teaching him to pay attention and how to come forward. Good. Now, you watch. Good. And you watch as this horse saw me move with that hand. All right. And if I go this way, watch it. See that head? I'm gonna step back. I want this horse to learn how to take forward steps. And every time I catch this horse focusing, good, somewhere else, good. Well, then I'm gonna step away from him and ask him to start taking some steps and come forward just a little bit. Now, you watch this horse. Good. Of course, there's flies bothering him. Good. Now, and one of the things that I tell people is what operates the life in the horse is the life in you. If you watch this horse a little bit, when I go to walk off, I don't even have to ask him now. You know. Now I'm going to start working a little bit more on his hip and his shoulder control. Good. Now, I'm going to step over. One of the things that I tell people is the horse perceives that you open and close doors for him. All right. Now, we brought his front end over. Now I'm going to ask for that back. Now I'm going to ask for that back. Good. 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 Yeah. Good. What I'm going to do with this horse is I'm going to stand up straight. When I feel him take the slack out, because what I want this horse to do is to learn how to keep this slack in this rope. And all I'm going to do is just barely bump him. Kind of like having your hands on a set of reins and just closing your fingers a little bit. Now, watch this horse as he travels around. I'm going to step back over. Good. His attention was off to the left that time instead of being focused on me. Good. Good. Now, I'm going to start giving this horse some direction. I'm going to step over. Now, what he heard was hurry up. I'm okay with that. I don't like to interfere with movement as long as I'm getting some really nice movement out of them. One of the things you hear me say a lot is everybody wants their horse to pay attention. Most of the time the horse is already paying better attention than you're ever going to. If you watch this horse just then as he was moving around here, I just kind of quit. And he got to a spot, and when he felt and started seeing the slack come out of the throat, we just stopped. Now, if you watch, I pointed, and what I saw in this horse's face is he was paying attention. He was trying. And he was trying to understand that that point gave him the direction. Now, good. You see him kind of go out and run into that. Good. 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 He's looking off. Kind of more towards the camera and kind of leaning on me over here to the left. Good. He kind of ran into that himself. You know, my philosophy is if you want to create pain for yourself, it doesn't mean that I have to create more pain for you. Good. I started giving this horse some direction. Now, if you watch this horse going left, he does a lot nicer job of keeping the float in this rope. And another thing that I tell people is that you always want to work slow. You're giving the horse both time to think ahead and adjust. Watch this horse. I'm going to step over. Boom. Good. 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 Now. Good. Now. One of the things that you also want to do is offer the horse the best deal. Right then I pointed, kissed to him, and he started to move. Wasn't any need for me to ask him to do any more because he was doing what I'd asked. And he was moving in a specific direction. Good. Now you watch him, I started working on moving out. Good. And if you noticed, he stopped before he ran or made contact with his head. Now watch him. He's just kind of got his head going here, got his head going there. He's not focusing real hard on that. I'm going to step over. Good. Now watch him. Good. Now, another one of the things that I tell people, your movements in this pen, same thing as volume to this horse. Now, what you just saw that horse do was he heard me say change direction. And in his mind he said hurry. He thought he heard me say hurry up. I'm going to do what I call getting real specific with this horse. Because he's kind of wanting to be in my pocket, but I'm wanting him to stay out there and learn to step up when I ask. Learn to lead up when I ask. know, we talk all the time about the horse, good, about the horse disrespecting you. I've been doing it a long time, never had a horse disrespect me. You know, most of them will stay back. And the reason that they'll stay back is because they want to give themselves enough room to be able to respond to whatever you may do. You know, one of the things that I tell people is, you know, about this horse paying attention closer than you're ever going to, is that the reason for that is that he knows what he's going to do. It's you he's not certain about. So for this horse to be able to turn loose of where his problems lie and what his issues are, he just needs to become more certain. And it's my job to help him get there.